It's the Criterion Collection Film Club selection. It's the Criterion Collection Film Club selection. Yo, what up? Welcome back to the Criterion Film Club. Here we're about to discuss Weekend. This is the movie discussion part here. So let's get to it, shall we? What the fuck was this? I don't know. This is a crazy movie. It made no sense, but you know, that's fine. These films are like this every now and then, but this is like to the extreme of making no sense. It's about a rich bourgeoisie. It's a very political film. It's about a rich bourgeoisie couple going to go kill their relative, their granddad, and inherit all of his money, because that's what all the rich people do, and that's all the rich people care about, I guess, is this money, so they can vacation at ski resorts and vacation and resort islands and stuff like that. Very political film. He's very extreme. He's a big communist. You know, he's a big Marxist, and it really shows in this film. Oh my gosh, he goes crazy. He bashes basically everybody. Like, I think his whole point of making this film is to bash every convention that he thinks he knows of. Like, he bashes literature. I didn't quite fully understand all of his literature references, but I know they're there. Especially like with the eggs. Remember, like, he kept towards the end, he was cracking the eggs, cracking like raw eggs in like the woman's vagina and stuffing fish up there. It's crazy. I'm pretty sure that's a reference based off old literature, classical literature. And like the couple that were walking in the forest, I don't know who that was based off of, but I know it's based off somebody. Then he bashes music. He talked crap about Wolfgang Mozart, and then like at the end he had like this drummer guy, and he bashes his main thing he bashes is like the social conventions. You know, this is an existential film. Like, what's our place in society and stuff. It makes you think. So yeah, all that combined. It's very episodic. It's basically this couple's journey, but they stumble upon a bunch of random shit that just happens to them. And there's no good guys, bad guys in this film. They're all bad guys. Everybody's a lunatic in this film. It's cool. It's fresh, but it gets kind of old after a while, for me anyway. I don't know. So let's start at the beginning. So it's this couple, married couple, and then like there's a sequence where the wife tells the husband of a sexual experience she recently had with another married couple. Like, she had a threesome with this other married couple, and she's like kind of explaining in detail her experience, and it kind of reminded me a lot of Persona. If you guys seen Persona, you know, you guys are familiar with that one scene where the nurse lady talks to like the deaf mute woman about sexual experience of hers when she's on the beach with some boys coming and like then they're having sex and stuff, and she goes in very vivid detail. And I think this movie kind of copied that scene, or that scene of this movie. I felt like it was kind of a rip-off of Persona. I'm not sure though. I didn't check when Persona was made, but I'm pretty sure it was made before Weekend. It's easy to check up. I didn't, but it reminded me a lot of that. And so then they go off, and there's a bunch of existential episodes that happen. Like, they pick up a hitchhiker and his girlfriend, and the hitchhiker has a gun. He claims he is God, and how meaningless their life is, or something. I don't know. It gets pretty crazy pretty quickly. Oh yeah, in the traffic jam scene. OMG, seriously, yo, it's a 10-minute scene of freaking annoying honking. They're driving slowly. All these parked cars are like parked on the road, and they're slowly driving, trying to edge their way in, you know. And it's non-stop honking for 10 minutes straight. And it actually has a pretty cool payoff at the end. Like, oh my god, this is so annoying. When's it going to stop? When's it going to stop? And it eventually stops when the car. And the reason why there's a traffic jam, because there was like this horrific accident, dead bodies everywhere, blood everywhere. And the rich couple, they don't care, they speed off. Like, it's really cool. And speaking of dead bodies and crashes everywhere, this whole movie, there's dead bodies and car crashes everywhere. I think this like symbolizes like the downfall of Western civilization, and how like the bourgeois or the rich people that's what it takes for them to get on top, is stepping on the dead bodies of everybody else. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm right, but I think it's something along those lines anyway. But it's really cool because they're so random. These car crashes and dead bodies just laying around. And the rich bourgeoisie couple, they eventually crash their car, and then they're walking. I forgot what happens to their car. And they're walking. They keep taking shit from the dead bodies, and it's very symbolic. You know, they're just taking the jacket of a dead guy. They're taking the shoes of the dead woman. It's just, I'm pretty sure it means like, you know, they're taking from the proletariat, you know, and they don't care if they're dead or alive, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's this whole movie is symbol. This whole movie, everything is symbolized as something. It's ridiculous. It'd be impossible to know every single one of these references that it makes in this film. It'd be impossible because it's just so cram-packed with symbolism. It's redonkulous. So there's some scenes that are there. What I get from Godard is, I don't know if I necessarily like his post post weekend films. Like there's Weekend, and then there's After Weekend, and there's Before Weekend. And there's Before Weekend. There's a narrative. I thought this movie would have been a masterpiece if it was a narrative, if there was a story to it. You know, like I think he got it wrong because Kurosawa said best that you can do anything to a film, but make it entertaining. You know, that's the #1 thing. Make it exciting and entertaining. And this one was just like non-stop randomness, which I respect. I totally respect it, but you're not telling. It's not. It doesn't engage you. You know, it's not entertaining. It's just statement after statement after statement. You know, and that kind of gets old after a while, especially in a feature-length film. You know, so. And, oh man, Jean-Luc Godard's politics is extreme. Like, you know, I was always, you know, oh, you know, communism, oh, look at it, it's cool, look at all these cool things that communism has going on for it. But this film made me not want to even, like, this film made me an anti-communist. It's because it's so extreme. Like, I never heard. Very political. This is made in '67, so it's still going, like the civil rights movement was still going on. And I never heard anybody talk against Martin Luther King Jr. Like I think Martin Luther King Jr. is the greatest American that ever lived. Any president, anybody, he's the greatest American that ever lived. And I never heard anybody talk against his politics. You know, the peace-love side of it. And it's really interesting, like, really, because he had a couple of garbage truck workers, and then he had, like, a narrative, like, speak what they were thinking. And one was black, and one was Arab, I think. And they're talking about the civil rights movement in America, how they should raise up in arms and, like, sabotage and shoot, and, like, have, like, a revolution and kill people and sabotage, like, factories and stuff like the black people should. The black people should raise arms because he says that freedom equals violence. And peace and love is not the answer. It's a direct criticism towards what Gandhi did, towards what Martin Luther King Jr. was currently doing. Because Martin Luther King Jr. got assassinated in '68, I believe. And this film came out in '67, which was made probably '66. Then, you know, that was like the peak of the civil rights movement and stuff, I believe. Like, I Have a Dream, all that good stuff. But it's really weird hearing somebody talk against Martin Luther King like that. And, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure Jean-Luc Godard is still alive, I'm not quite sure, but he has to realize that, look at me telling him what to do, that's ridiculous. Like, that doesn't work. Like, terrorism to get your point across does not work in today's world anymore. It might have worked back in the day, but, I mean, back in, like, the colony days, you know, but violence does not work anymore to get your message across. It is peace and love. It takes time. It takes patience to get that message across. And I think Jean-Luc Godard is so extreme in his viewpoints that he doesn't see that, and he thinks that violence, terrorism, all that stuff would. And like France was occupying Algiers at the time too. I think that's how you pronounce that country, Algiers. It was like our Vietnam, I guess. So I've read. So yeah, it's crazy how comparable, like what all the shit that was going on in like the mid to late 60s. We had Vietnam, France had the Algiers or whatever that country is called, and you know, with occupations and stuff like that. But in his answer was terrorism and stuff. So it's really interesting. I respect his ideas, but I do not agree with him whatsoever. And towards the end, the couple kills like their grandparents. Basically, it's a really cool scene with like the skinless rabbit, and then like blood was like splashing on the skinless dead carcass rabbit and stuff. Oh yeah, and they like slit this like pig's throat and chopped off this goose's head and shit. And I mean, and we're talking about real animals here, and they're like body was flopping around and stuff. Oh, they could not make these movies nowadays. It's ridiculous. And it kind of like showed like the downfall of civilization, like we became cannibals and stuff like that, something crazy. I don't know. And at the very end, she started the wife's joined the rebels or the communists or whatever he was trying to do with that. And they're cannibals, so they were eating her husband along with the pigs and the geese and stuff. I don't know if that's like a statement towards being a vegetarian. I don't know, but there's a lot of like underlying themes going on in this film. So tell me what you think. Did you like the film? I, for one, I'll give it maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10 personally. I really like the story. I really like a narrative, and for French New Wave, I really prefer Truffaut. His films are just amazing, and Jean-Luc Godard has some really good films, but try to watch the ones before Weekend. They're really good to me. I don't know if I appreciate his post-narrative stuff as much. So yeah, there we go. I'll upload another video on Friday for our selection, and yeah, that'd be exciting. So yeah, like, comment, tell me your especially comment. Tell me I want to hear what your thoughts are on Weekend and stuff. Did you like the film? What do you think that was crazy about it? You know, just let me know. And if you have a video response, let me know, and I'll put it in the link below in the subscription box so other people could see other people's videos. Well, thanks for watching, and keep it real, son. Peace.
It's the Criterion Collection Film Club selection.